What's up, y'all? This is a view from the Legacy View combo series, and this chill on the green box. And on today's show, we got a creator who been in the game for 20 years, Noble Ward, with his story, Vegas Baby. He's gonna be on the show talking about his trial and tribulation through them 20 years and what he thinks of this emergence of black creators and black superheroes in the comic book industry. So, like, subscribe, tell a friend, homeboy, cousin, mama, brother, sister, whatever, that chill on the green box is on.
All right, welcome back to the hood. This is Chill on the Green Box with Specks, Thompson, and the View. And today on the show, we got somebody, finally, maybe in the same state I'm in, Noble Ward, man. What's going on?
What's up? What's up? I am doing well. Blessed, black, and highly favored, my man. Happy to be here.
That's great. That's great. That's great. For people who are not aware of who you are, give them a little brief introduction of who you are and what you do.
Well, my name again is Noble Ward. I am the founder, creator of Starward Comics. I am known for my books Vegas Baby, The Stronger, and recently added The Dragonfly. I've been doing comic books for maybe about 20 years now, trying to break into the game, doing the best I could with it. And I'm a family man, married with my first son, and trying to balance it all, make it all work, man. That's me.
Cool. That's what's up. 20 years, man. I'll never guess that. Put that
I'm 41, so
okay.
I've been in the game for a little bit.
Okay. So you live in Georgia, right?
I do, Atlanta. I live pretty much downtown.
Okay, so you know all about the green box, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this interview, show, whatever you want to call it, is based around that same concept. Chilling on the green box.
Okay.
Because where you from, we chill in the green box, hang out with friends and stuff like that. So I developed my show so people will know more about the creator, that faction, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, I watch a lot of podcasts, I've been on shows that people get on for 2 hours and talk about their one book and give nobody a reason why to support them or who they are. So I got my show so people know more of the creator. So not only people can support whatever they got going on at the time, and also later on too in their journey.
Yeah. That's what's up. I appreciate that. I appreciate the work you do and what you're how you present the information to the people and everything, man. That's what's up. We need more platforms like this.
No problem, man. Thanks. So with that concept, I got 4 different segments, and my first segment is called Breaking It Down. Because when you chill on that green box, you break ideas, concepts, and other things down on that green box. So in this segment, I'm going to break your brain down with a couple of icebreaker questions so people know more about you.
I'm down with it. Let's do it.
All right. So since you're in Atlanta, food-wise, are you going to the mom and pop, spots, you should hit, or you going to the franchises?
See, I'm not from Atlanta. I've been living here since 2020. Right.
I mean, that's 5 years. I mean, you got enough time to feel around.
Yeah, right. So I've been here long enough to feel it around, and I gotta say, like, I like going to the mom and pop places. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to kind of when I'm feeling the right mood, experimenting with it. You know what I'm saying? I like seeing what they got, because you can find some real good food in those places. But if I'm in a hurry, like, I'm hitting the franchise. But if I'm just going to go for myself, or I got some time to start to eat, I'm gonna try something different.
Okay. I'm in Augusta, and
I know where that is.
So when I have been in Atlanta or go to Atlanta, we stop and go to these places. But since you live there, is it easier to Uber Eats or DoorDash those places, or it's still easier just to go up there?
It's like I'm not home a lot because of other stuff that I do, but my wife and my bonus daughter, they will Uber Eat something real quick. So
okay.
For them, I think it is more convenient. It just really depends on, because being so centralized, you really don't have to leave if you don't want to. Like, you can just get it to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see the point in paying somebody to bring me my food when I can go get my food. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Maybe I'm old like that. Unless it's like I'm in a weird situation, I would rather just go get it myself.
Okay. Yeah. My next question: Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles?
Ooh, Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles, because they were my first love. When I'm 41, and when I was in kindergarten, that's when Ninja Turtles really first started kind of coming up. And I remember like not being able to read the names on the boxes and getting the first toys and going to a Rose's and getting my first Ninja Turtles and everything and playing with them. Like it's such a vivid memory, man. Like looking at those cartoons and seeing how it's like grown over the years. Because like I have a 2-year-old son, and there probably will be another Ninja Turtle cartoon that he can watch in a few years. You know, there's been different reboots and stuff. So because of the legacy of it, Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
But Power Rangers is hard though.
See,
That Green Ranger saga was like the best soap opera ever.
shoot. I mean, you know, you said 41. I'm about 7 years younger than you. So I was say Green Ranger, but you know, that came out. That's 94, 95. You know, I'm just not getting in school. So when I able to comprehend, I mean, I gotta say either the SPD Power Rangers or people don't talk about it, but the in space. Like if you really think about the storyline, like in space, it was dude lost all his, I guess, other Rangers or everybody else. And he found out his friend was like frozen, you know, down the spaceship. And his sister ended up being the villain.
I know a little bit about that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you should have been too old for that one.
Yeah, after the movie, like
which one?
The first movie, with,
okay,
Ivan Ooze or whatever. That's after that is when I started kind of aging out, and I started actually reading more comic books after that.
Okay.
Like you know, that's when my comic book affection started really happening.
Okay.
You know, because it was different. Like I don't know, something about the change. I was like, it's still Power Rangers, but I don't know, man. That Green Ranger saga, man, that shit it hit so hard.
Not Tommy, you know, was one of my favorite Rangers or whatever. But like I said, I might do Ranger Stop this year, and I'm gonna cosplay as one of the SPD Rangers, the Red Ranger. He had dreadlocks.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say that storyline too because him and the Yellow Ranger were just street thugs. You know, they was cops. Right. So the Blue Ranger, you know, he was a 3-generational Ranger. He was destined to be the Red Ranger. Then some street thug comes because of Red Ranger. So I said, "Damn, that's a hell of a storyline, man."
That's what's up.
But my last question for this segment, you're going on a underwater trip. You know, maybe you're going to Atlantis or whatever down there, or wherever Namor's from nowadays. You gotta bring some items from the surface down there, you know, for you to have. What 3 items are you gonna bring?
What 3 items am I gonna bring underwater?
Yeah, you're going to like Atlantis or some kind of underwater type facility.
What am I gonna bring? Man, they ain't gonna have no internet, right? So I mean,
we don't know what's down there. There's more space down there than up here.
That's true. They got a lot. We don't know what's down there.
They got landlines, probably.
I'm gonna bring something that I can record with, or something that I can take pictures for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, something to take pictures with. I'm going to bring a PlayStation 5 with some games. You know, just to introduce them to, hey, you know, try this out. Now, if I can breathe down here, there's got to be some dry area for me to plug this up, right? You got to have something.
Well, I don't know about electricity and water though, but
it's dark down there. Like they got some light some kind of way. I'm just gonna hedge my bets. And what else am I gonna bring? Another item? Oh man, there's one more item I can bring. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard choice.
It is. Like I'm underwater. Like what else? I can breathe. I'm assuming I can breathe. I can see. I got my PlayStation. Okay. Am I going out there to visit? Am I like a royal guest, or am I just like hanging
out? You won a lottery ticket at one of those scratch offs, so you get to go like a little trip down there.
Okay.
Yeah, you ain't about to get like the royal treatment, but you a guest, and you know you don't have to pay.
Okay, I guess. Okay, that's good. What else am I bringing?
Like, it's still one of the situations that you don't go off the mainland.
I'm going to bring some information about something I can use to maybe contact them again. I'm not sure what that would be, but
Mm-hmm.
like something where I can set up some type of trade network or something, like some type of idea. I would bring maybe a computer. I don't know, something like where I can like stay in contact, so that I can like set up some type of trade route. You know what I'm saying? See what type of money options to be made with that. Which
Oh, you trying to trade with underworld world? You know, trade
yeah, man,
some.
if I'm going down there, let's set something up. You know what I'm saying? Let's make a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I gotta watch out for you when you go to Wakanda, man. You might come back with some vibranium.
We're gonna talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What's out? See what
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll bring, man. You know, I'm one of forward thinker, so you know I might bring in some kind of weapon or something. You know, I don't know, I don't know what time it is down there.
Weapon. Well, if I gotta bring a weapon down with me, I
I
don't,
don't,
I'm not
I don't
going.
know. I don't know what time it is, man. You
I'm
know,
not going.
it's a long way up.
That's right.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'll bring. Maybe I do the opposite of you. Maybe I'll bring some information about us to them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll do that. You know, 'cause I'm pretty sure besides mermaids, we haven't seen nobody down there. So
Yeah, it's true.
maybe swap some stuff like that. You know, or you said a camera. You said a camera, didn't you?
Yeah, for sure. Like I need to.
Yeah, I'll probably do a camera too. I'll probably do a camera. Take pictures. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just document it.
100%. Like I need y'all to believe me.
I might need a actual video camera because you know you can Photoshop pictures. So it's like, look, I can see look, this stuff is moving. Look, we're really out here.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for that segment. That was great questions. Hope people got a good feel of who you are.
Appreciate it.
Going to my next segment is called the back issues.
Okay.
Being in the comics, you should know all about the back issues, but people who don't, is in case you want to know somebody's origin story, you read their back issues. For example, if you want to know more about Aquaman, you read more about his origin and his back issues. So in this case, we can go to your back issues to find out more about your origin story.
Okay.
So my first question is, where are you from and what do you call your hood?
I am originally from a place called Wolf, West Virginia.
Okay.
They call it the sticks because we was out there in the sticks. You know, there was bears and snakes and deer. You know, we was out there in the forest.
I don't think I've really been in West Virginia like that. It's always Virginia. Maybe I was younger, probably, but I don't think I've ever been in West Virginia, like out there.
Not really much to it. You know, it is a pretty state. There is some pretty areas that you can go to and see. But in terms of things to do with people,
What's like the highlight?
The highlight?
Yeah.
The Appalachian Trail.
That's it.
That's it. The main thing. There's a ski resort, snowshoe ski resort you can go to.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I never been because I'm not rich. I haven't got time to ski.
Yeah, whitewater rapids and some whitewater trails, stuff like that. You know, some hiking trails, things of that nature.
Okay. So more outdoorsy type stuff.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. You military or something?
No, people ask me that a lot. I don't know why I give off that vibe. That people ask me a lot.
Okay.
I did.
You play a lot of Call of Duty. That's all. What got you moved to Georgia?
Well, I've always really wanted to be in Atlanta. I felt like there would always be opportunities here. I never really had the opportunity to do so, but I ended up falling in love with a girl.
Okay.
And I ended up moving in with her really quick. We lived together during the pandemic, which was not a good thing. We were together too much too soon, and that didn't actually end up working out. And I ended up just staying here, got my own place, you know, and fell in love with another woman, and that's who I'm with now, who I have myself.
I guess it did work out. I guess
it did work out in the end.
Yeah. That's good. It's good in trying to be a blank trip.
Exactly. But I love it here. I lived in a lot of different cities in my life. There's a stretch where I was doing a city every year for every 4 or 5 years. I kept moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like Atlanta. I really like the vibe here.
Yeah, my cousin like that. He moved a lot. I don't know why he does it, but he don't got no corporate job. The reason for him to move, he just
Well, for me, I was
pick up his hat and drop it where he needs to drop it.
I was in my 20s, and I was like, "It's the time to mess up. Let me just do some stuff, try it out, mess up, and recover. See what works." So that's what I was doing. I was just out here trying stuff.
Yeah, he ended up. He did a long stretch in Seattle, but somehow he ended up in Idaho. And
Idaho's worse than West Virginia.
Okay, when I went up there to visit them, I stayed for like 2 months, and was in Idaho Falls, and I'm pretty sure it's like 8 black people. But they say now it's a lot more black people. But like it was legit like 8 black people. Like and that's including us. So it was like it was 4 of us, so it's four more black people. Right. And everybody else either Indians, Arabs, or white people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to every state. From my job I had during the pandemic, I was driving across country, delivering vehicles. So I got to see every state except for Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay. You listen to music?
I do. I love music.
What artist, song got you liking or loving music or got into that genre?
I remember when I was young, when I was like 14 or 15. I think that's when Ja Rule came out. I really liked Ja Rule at first.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's kind of something about his voice and stuff, and I wasn't supposed to listen to it, But I didn't really grow up liking him. I really grew up liking like Jill Scott was like my girl. I really got into music with her. Erykah Badu, Angie Stone,
R.I.P.
Yeah, R&B, right? A lot of R&B singers really stood out to me more than anybody.
It sounded like you like neo soul, like Music Soul Child and stuff like that. It sounded like your
I didn't like Music Soul Child too much. Something about his voice.
Oh man,
he had like one good song to me. The rest of the song, I didn't feel like he could sing good. I don't know. People have that one artist that feel like they just kind of hate on. Like his voice don't sound good.
Yeah.
It didn't appeal to me.
Okay.
I like a little R&B. I do like rap too. I like guys like Childish Gambino.
Okay.
Jaden Smith was really putting out some good music for a while. I think he went all Flower Child on me.
You said Jaden?
Yeah.
What's his song?
Yeah, his first 3 albums I thought were really good.
I mean, the only song I thought was cool with him was Icon.
On that album, I thought the album was pretty sire. I thought the album was pretty dope. Like I've listened to that a few times. I thought he was spitting. He was doing something different.
See, I couldn't really get into him because I felt how you feel about him. I felt about Diggy. When Diggy album came out, I was like, when Diggy spitting, then he vanished. I don't know. I want to look him up right now and see what happened to Diggy. Like Diggy came out with an album too, and then vanished.
Yeah, I don't think he really had the push, the backing, really. Even though Jaden's also independent, it's just like Diddy didn't have that. He was too cool, No, Jaden's doing stupid shit. Like he's like.
I think J. Cole took Diggy's spotlight.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because I think Diggy was J. Cole. Then J. Cole got signed and it pushed him. I think they were literally the same artist.
Oh, okay.
Then
yeah. Signed. Yeah, he got a chance there. Yeah, he got because Jaden Smith, he be doing weird stuff. He dressing up like Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like
apparently they all do now. Travis Scott did it. Costner did it. I think that's what you do.
Yeah, you got to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Jaden was on that. I like his music.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like Willow's music, but hers is too up there somewhere.
I thought she neo soul.
She is a different generation of neo soul. Like her stuff is like really like esoteric to me. No, it sounds pretty, but it's just like I really can't connect with her stuff all the way.
Okay.
It's dope for what it is that she's doing. Like I think what she's doing is just it doesn't all the way. Not all of her. A couple of songs do, but not all of them really speak to me. I can't listen to her whole album.
Dang. Okay. you said comic books. You after Power Rangers, you start reading comic books. So what's your first comic book? Well, I know your first comic book late TV show was Turtles. So what's your first comic book that got you in the comics?
Oh man, that was in 1996. During that time, Marvel was doing the Onslaught saga. Right, they were getting ready to go into the Heroes Reborn era.
Okay.
Um, the first comic I read, I wanted to buy some stuff from Image, but my mom wasn't going to buy that for me because it was a little bit. They were a little bit hardcore.
You know, a little risque.
Yeah, and she didn't know those characters, but she knew Spider-Man, so I was like, all right, you can buy Spider-Man. So,
Now, did she read comics?
No, but she kind of knew the cartoons and stuff like that from when she was a kid because they had old school Fantastic Four cartoons and stuff when she was little.
Yeah, okay.
The 60s and 70s, but no, she was never like a comic book person. My dad, on the other hand, he was really big into Batman in DC comics.
See, you're the first person to speak on that. I had some people say their parents, it was in comics, they read comics, but you're the first person to say their parents watched the old show but didn't read the comics. So I never thought about that concept.
Yeah, that was my mom. She did not read, but she and she watched the old school, the Batman and Friends, Spider-Man and Friends, say stuff like that the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons or whatever they're called. So she knew those. So she was familiar with the characters when I started wanting to read them.
Oh, okay.
Those characters, my first comic though was an issue of Ben Reilly Spider-Man. We had his suit was a little bit black and white. He had the web shooters on the outside.
Yeah, like gauntlet.
Like those were his web shooters. I thought those things were so cool. I like the Ben Reilly suit. I still today think that's a really cool suit.
You like that better than the T-shirt version of it?
Yes, the Scarlet Spider one. That was the actual Spider-Man look was much better. I thought.
Okay.
And I bought that one because that was a current issue, and then I bought this issue of Captain America, where I can't remember what number it was, but on the cover he's like hanging on the MODOK and trying to fight. And when I flipped through it, he was just fighting like all the B-list heroes there was, like Rhino, Doc Ock, Shocker, Diamondback, like all these B-list heroes. And he was like beating all the ass. And I was like, oh man, Captain America's going hard. Okay, I gotta get this. And I read that comic like 4 or 5 times. The thing I got it. Like I think I read it both like 10 times over and over again. I was talking to somebody today, like it's hard to describe the feeling of a little boy when you're reading a comic book for the first time and it's like really popping to life in your hands, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're really interested in the story. Like, there's really nothing like that feeling of reading your first comics as a kid. Like, it was
amazing. Mine's like was the Young Justice, with Impulse, Robin, and Superboy.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that popped to me too. Characters I knew. I ain't no Superboy, but I knew Superboy. That makes sense because the logo and he just figured A and B.
Yeah, he's a younger version, so I got it.
Yeah, and Robin, I knew who Robin was, and just the fact that in that issue, their, I guess, mentors, you'll call it, just dropped them off, told me just hang out right there. Rex said they'll watch you and just don't do nothing they ain't supposed to do. Just relate to me at the same time. And I really clicked with that. It's just not knowing what's going on. Just like, I ain't care they saving the world or whatever. I was like, the story, like, the parents just tell them to behave and they still want to do what they want to do. That's spoke to me. I had other issues. I had other books. I had like Green Lantern books, X-Men books, but that one always stuck out to me. Besides the other issues, I can't remember other stories. Like only ones I know for sure was like a Gambit and Bishop team up story, and and the Darkness. Definitely something I wasn't supposed to be reading, but it stuck in my head. Even now, I got the hardcover edition I bought Kickstarter of it. Yeah, just because that's one of the first books that, even though I don't know what's what, just all the type of images and how his suit was, it all stuck to me.
Yeah, right. I feel that. Yeah, and then as I really started getting into it, I tried everything. Like I think I bought a little bit of every book. I had the premise of I can't say I don't like the character if I don't read the character.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I would buy, when I ain't had no in high school, man, I had a job and I had no bills. You know,
Yeah.
I had a car that I didn't have a car payment because my aunt gave me the car. I just had insurance, which was like $100-something, and
That's kind of high for
gas.
back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was under 25, you know, so it was like, and then gas at the time I remember was like 99 cents a gallon. So like I couldn't put $20 of gas in my car. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it wasn't big enough. All my money went on comic books. Oh my god, I bought so much. It's crazy.
Okay. Saying that you was buying comic books in high school. So when did you find out you was a nerd?
Oh man, definitely high school. Which is really crazy to me because like nerds are so cool now. Like we're the guy like nobody knew who Black Panther was when I was in high school. Like I was the only dude who knew about Black Panther and that character in Wakanda. I was in Wakanda since 1996.
They still didn't know who he was when I was in high school either. It didn't change.
Yeah. The movie comes out, and then all of a sudden everybody's all in Wakanda. Like I don't know nothing about. I've been in Wakanda for 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if you in the group on Facebook. What's it called? Black Comic Lords or something like that. You know. So I did a rant a month or two ago about how I felt about Black Panther. Did you see that?
I think I did actually.
So when I found out about Black Panther, I believe I knew who he was from the Spider-Man cartoon, but it was like a one-off type thing. But the game came out, Ultimate Alliance. Then I found out more about him.
Oh yeah.
And
I was surprised he was in that game. I was like, wow, he putting Black Panther in here?
Yeah,
okay.
and when I played the game, you just read up on him and his skills and stuff. I was like, is he just a black Iron Man? And that's what I thought. And so I posted that in the group, everybody flipped out. But like just reading about him, like that's legit he was. He's like the black guy, got all this money, all this tech, different suits. I was like,
yeah,
he's Iron Man. And I already don't like Iron Man, so it's like
yeah, they really misrepresented him in that game. That was not Black Panther.
But only now the character I did like and kind of didn't understand, but I noticed him was Luke Cage.
Okay.
I thought Luke Cage was cool. Now I saw him as being like a Captain America type person, but he was cool, so I accepted who he was or whatever. Versus Black Panther, he just I don't want to play that toy no more.
Right.
When that show came out, that hurt me. I'm like, oh, Luke Cage show, I don't like this. It just
you didn't like it? I thought it was pretty good.
Man, Superman beating up on regular people, man. I couldn't get with it.
I mean, who else is he going to fight?
You tell me. I didn't read Heroes for Hire. At least somebody.
No.
See, I like Black Lightning though. Now Black Lightning show, I co-signed with my coworkers and got them on watching it. Like I like that.
He was fighting regular people.
No, he wasn't. He's fighting like the meta babies, the meta people.
Nah, he's fighting mostly thugs and stuff at first.
That was that hotel when his daughter was kidnapped, man.
Yeah, he had to be regular.
He didn't fight him. He killed him. You can't tell me he did not kill everybody at that hotel.
They were hurt. They were hurt. I know that. Yeah. First time I saw Black Panther was on the Fantastic Four cartoon.
The old one?
In the 90s. Well,
the 90s with the black and blue outfits.
Yes.
I watched that show too. I don't remember him from that. That's why he was like some one-off character that didn't resonate with me.
2 episodes. He did 2 episodes. He had a 2-part episode that he did, I think. Yeah, but that was it.
Yeah, he didn't resonate with me. See, I don't know. But now he's cool. I mean, I guess he's cool.
I thought he was cool because he was black, and I was like, because you didn't see black characters much.
I did. I saw Blade. He was pretty cool. I saw Bishop. He pretty cool. Then you got Black Panther. Like,
yeah, those guys. For me, my growing up, those guys are few and far between.
Black Panther and you talking about since I saw them back to back, you saw Spaced Out. Okay.
Yeah, I saw Spaced Out. Like I saw Blade. The first movie, that was my first rated R movie. My dad took me to see that when I was little. And when the time I saw that, and then it was like a while before I saw Black Panther, and even longer before I saw Luke Cage. You know,
See,
so
see, I don't know the order, but one of my favorite movies is Blank Man, so I count that as a superhero movie. So I had I had Blank Man, I had Meteor Man, I had
oh,
Steel, I had Blade, I had
yeah,
Spawn.
okay, oh yeah, you was hitting all of them there. Yes,
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah, for you, then it's like, oh, he was getting full black.
yeah,
You can choose. Like, I don't like this black guy. I don't like this one. I like this one. I like this one. So,
yeah.
yeah, I
Only
get it.
one that I didn't really care for was Spawn. I guess I was too young to really figure out what's going on in Spawn.
Yeah,
But all the rest of them, and I had the toys and everything.
yeah.
It would have been cool to have that Denzel Washington Black Panther movie. I guess that would have been cool. I guess.
It was it was Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was trying to do one after he did Blade,
So
but they went.
he was gonna be he wasn't gonna be Black Panther though.
No, he wanted to be Black Panther. He tried to get that movie made for 10 years.
I thought he was gonna be a producer. Okay.
Yeah, he was trying to produce it and be in it.
No, double dip.
He tried for like 10 years to get that movie made, and it wouldn't happen.
Dang.
But I don't think they really could have done it justice back then anyway. Like they needed certain visual effects and stuff to really pull it off like they did. And I don't think he could have. I don't know if that would have worked out right.
Okay, so timing is everything.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I got for that segment. Going to the meat of the show, called the Hot Keys. It's a double meaning term. You know, in comics, the key issues are when a new artist, new writer, new character get introduced, or nowadays storyline get turned to a TV show or movie.
Mm-hmm.
As well in music, it's keys on a turntable that DJ presses to turn the club up or the party up, as well as buttons on a producer and make the song more live or amped up. Mm-hmm. So this one will get everybody turned up about what you do and who you are. So I've been this 20 years. You say you've been doing this 20 years. So what initially got you start? Well, first you're a writer or just a artist?
Started out being an artist. Went to school for graphic design, studio art, and I just found out that I was a better writer than I was an artist.
Okay.
I decided to try writing once, and I wrote the script for my first comic called The Stronger, and it got a lot more praise than anything I'd ever drawn after I let people read it. And then people liked the concept, and then I was like, you know what? I switched it up. I went to start writing.
So when does the 20 years start? When you're drawing or when you're writing?
It started, I would say, from when I was writing, which was my sophomore year in college.
Okay.
Because I always had the interest of drawing and trying to do that, but I never did anything really substantial art-wise when it comes to actual producing comics. Nothing that was finished or done. The thing that I actually finished, completed, packaged, put together was stuff that I had written. So I would count from the time that I started writing is when my comic journey really started.
All right. And what started that?
Oh, man. Sequence of events, the reason I wanted to do comics is because I wanted to do something with my life that didn't feel like I was working. Like I wanted to do something that didn't feel like I hated. I didn't like the idea of corporate structure of working in corporate America, but I didn't know any other real path. I didn't really understand entrepreneurship. I didn't know any entrepreneurs in my life at that time. I didn't know who to ask. But I would, read, comics. And at the time, there were these Wizard magazines. I don't know if you remember those.
I do.
And they would have interviews in them. And Robert Kirkman, Todd McFarlane, the Image guys, they would do a lot of interviews in those. And they would talk about how great it was being able to write stories and really have full control over their stories. Being able to own their stories 100%. Not having editors tell them, oh, you can't do this with your character, or you can't do this with that character. You can actually do whatever you wanted to. And after, listening to them and reading those interviews and whatnot, it really inspired me to create my own worlds and my own characters and whatnot. And I remember at first I was a little nervous and felt some trepidation about making my characters black, because I didn't think that I would be able to sell the books or the characters if they were black. Because you didn't see that a lot. That's how I was being programmed. And thankfully, I decided to, just say fuck it and do it anyway. But yeah, that's really where it all started. Was me having the determination to really want to see. Like I felt like even at that time that there was a buzzing of another black comic book creation space was kind of being elevated in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
There were like little rumblings of things that were happening. And then I saw I don't know if you remember this, but there was a black comics book that a lot of independent black comic book creators did.
Well, I don't remember it, but I'm aware of it because of the Epiphany Engine.
Okay, yeah. So this was like way back, like it was almost 20 years ago now, that these guys put one out. And I think the Epiphany Engine is kind of like be bringing it back or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and but like a girl I was dating at the time gave me that book for my birthday, and when she gave me that, it was like the best present I've ever got because I didn't know there were other black people doing this like that.
Was it an anthology or was it like a linear story?
It was an anthology,
Okay.
Just like this is the Street Team. This is Shogun Tiger from the Street Team. This is Aaron from the Street Team. This is Purge. This is Dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? And the creator. Like it was just like something briefly just saying who the characters were and who the creators were. And just showing you that stuff and where you can maybe go find their books if you wanted it. And it was great. Like it would really, really help inspire me and really lit a fire under me more. And I wanted to be a part of that. Indie comic book movement of black characters, like black people creating black characters. So that's really where, for me, it all started. Like with college, Image guys, and then when that Black Comics book dropped and I got that, those are the things that really shaped my beginnings of wanting to be in comics.
So what was your first book, I guess?
First comic or first book that I did?
I don't know. What you mean? Like, I don't understand.
Like the first book that I did, like my first creative book or first comic book I ever read?
Oh, first one you did.
I did, okay. First one I did, well, the first one I wrote was The Stronger. I can show it to you. I think I have a copy over here somewhere behind me. Do I have a copy? Hang on one second. The Stronger.
Okay. That's dope.
Now, this is my first comic I ever wrote.
So I see your logo down there. So you added logo now, or you had it back then too?
I did not have it back then.
Okay.
I wasn't really interested in creating my own publishing house at the time.
You were trying to sell it off?
Well, no, I just wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to be the guy behind the main guy. I wanted to be the supportive guy who got to create, who really got to have to bring everything together. I didn't want to be the front man.
You want to be Dennis Rodman?
Maybe, yeah, something like that. More like a Pippin, I guess,
Well, I don't know. The way he act now, I don't seem like it.
And so I ended up teaming up with a guy named Keithan Jones for Kid Comics. And I actually had my first books under his imprint, under Kid.
Was that all in West Virginia?
He's in San Diego.
Okay.
I just met him online once I did my first Vegas Baby Kickstarter back in 2010.
Oh, you just met him?
Yeah, I met him way like it's been like 12 years ago now, or 15 years ago. Shit.
When you where were you when you made Stronger?
Stronger. That was 2010. I probably made that in 2008.
Okay.
Something like that. But like I didn't put it out first because I held on to it because I was more excited about Vegas Baby.
Okay.
Because that was like the one. I read an interview with Eric Larson. I'll never forget. And he said that he had like 3 books in his head that he wanted to do. He had Savage Dragon, Super Patriot, and something else.
Was it Ant?
I don't know if that was his.
Well, it's not his. He got sold to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he wanted to, when he was launching Image, he was like, I can do one of these books. And he decided to just do Savage Dragon because he had more stories that he wanted to tell with Savage Dragon. And I looked at it, and I had more stories I wanted to tell with Vegas Baby, so that's the one I put more energy in, even though I
Okay.
got Stronger done first.
All right. So you made Stronger. 2 years later, you met your partner, right?
Yes, online, because I did a Vegas Baby Kickstarter, which failed.
So you did a
And
Kickstarter in 2010.
yeah, I
So
think
how
that
how was Kickstarter back then? Because I know how it is now. 2010, I don't remember seeing no Kickstarter except for like I want to build my own water bike that flies on Kickstarter. So how was it back then for comics?
it was. If you knew what you were doing and you could make your money, but you had to be really set up. You had to really know how to get the books to people, how to deliver on the products that you had, how to come follow through with everything, understand the money you needed versus the money you're going to need to spend to produce, to ship, all of that stuff. You had to really have that mindset because there was no real resources for you to do it. Kickstarter was just helping you to make the books, and it was kind of new ish. So if
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know how to market, promote all this other stuff, you were kind of dead in the water. And the internet wasn't what the internet is now. Like Facebook wasn't what it is now.
Yeah,
You know,
MySpace.
yeah, right. There just wasn't as many clear online avenues. But I was able to, after doing that first failed Kickstarter, I found people who liked what I had and was willing to help me move forward. Right. So happy, like I met Keithan. I met a guy who did all my coloring for years. This guy named Jason Smith. I worked with him for years. He colored all of Vegas Baby and multiple other things until he passed away a couple of years ago,
Oh
sadly.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, but with a heart attack. But he was my guy, And I met a few other people, like the guy who letters my comics. This guy named Alan Wallet. He was one that helped me after that. So it was really a good thing that I did that first Kickstarter, even though it didn't hit goal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was issue one, zero issue. What was that of the Vegas Baby?
That was issue number one. Issue
Oh,
number one.
okay. Okay.
And I'm actually kind of glad it didn't hit goal because like there were things I needed to add to the book that I just didn't have in there.
Okay.
And after doing some more research, looking into comics, looking at what helps comics be more iconic. Thanks to my homeboy, his name is Vince White. He taught me a
Vince
lot.
White. Yes. Yes. I. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he taught me a whole lot of stuff about how to make your book iconic and stand out, and not just stuff that was conjecture, but stuff that he can look at and point to improve. Like, look at how all these other books have done it. All these other books have been successful. Mainstream stuff, even indie stuff. Like these are common elements that you want to have in the book, like his origin. If you have an indie character, solo character, you want to get his origin out the way as soon as possible.
See, I haven't seen about that. I didn't do it yet. 5 issues in, and I haven't done it yet.
The origin of your character?
Yeah. So
You gotta do 0 issue quick.
no, I'm not doing 0 issue. I'm doing a brief origin next trade. So issue 6 through 10 will be like a brief origin. But my mindset different. I had a different mindset why I didn't do it. So, I did homecoming route, I guess you'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it is Spider-Man. Either way I do it, it's still Spider-Man. So, homecoming did it. Blah, he's Spider-Man. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it. First concept was with comics. So you read a character, back then in like anthology projects, it just boom character. This happened to him. Blah blah. Boom, he's doing his first fight. You didn't get an origin story. You got like brief little dialogue of what happened, why he's got his powers, who he is, and he's doing the mission. Mm-hmm. And so I did with that mindset. So I want to get him a hook about what he do, what he can do. Then I go back and tell the origin, because like I don't seen any books. They do that 0 issue, issue 1, and it's like a Fantastic Four movie. The last 2 pages, now they're the hero. So I read a whole bunch of nothing about their secret identity for no reason.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like when you're doing a comic book, like the origin story, it should really be the origin story should be 3 pages or less. Like if you look at how they did the origins, how Stan Lee did the origins of Spider-Man. Got a boy, goes to school, goes on a trip. He's a nerd, gets bit by a spider, wakes up.
See, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's quick, brief, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Fantastic Four. They got a contract. They get ready to go up to space. They get hit with stuff.
I think that's 1 page. I think Fantastic Four was 1 page. I think it was like
exactly.
Yeah.
No, Batman.
Pearls.
Yeah, goes down the alley. Shouldn't have did that. Bad move. Parents get shot. Pearls. He's mad. He wakes up. He grows up. Now he's Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like you should have. I think it's important because the way that he broke it down by homeboy Vince. It's important for the characters to have some sense of who this guy is and where they come from, because it adds to the mystique and the mythology of them. The only way you can get away with it, I think, to where it's really effective to not have their origin in the issue, is if they show up randomly in some other comic.
Oh, okay.
Like Wolverine, for example. When he first showed up, he was a guest star in the Hulk. He just showed up in a fight between Hulk and Wendigo, and we was like, who the heck is this little guy? And he was just doing cool stuff. I was like, oh, man, he's tough. Oh, okay. And then they went years about talking about his origin because of the way that he was introduced as a guest character, and he was on a team. And then because he was on a team, so I get cool, then it's like, well, let's just do more stories, you know. So yeah, I think that's really a really good thing in science. I'm sure your book's cool, you know what I'm saying? But like,
see what I do is all my promo. I give like, oh, he was in the wrong place, wrong time, got his powers, it's all tight. So I say it if you're looking for my stuff, marketing is there, blah 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 blah. But like the rundown of what happened, it's not, because I'm doing a brief origin next trade. Mm-hmm. But my idea is my book get popular. I want the initial origin of how we got to his origin to my issue 1. I want it to be a TV show. I wanted that to be a TV show version of it. I want that to be like a CW or something, a show like that. So like it's like live action, because in my brain I want to be like Crash. You ever seen that movie?
Yes, I've seen Crash. It was kind of, I remember when that came out.
Yeah, so I want to be like that. So many things happening, and it all ties into one incident. So I want it to be something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that, you know.
Because I got a lot of spoilers, like a lot of things that, boom, boom, that I know it happened in my book. And if you read my book prior and you see the origin, you're like, dang, so that's why that happened in the comics, because it just happened in the origin. That's why, yeah, because you just gotta, when it comes to you, I see. Just
all right, I'm looking forward to it.
How many? So, you just recently did a Kickstarter for Vegas Baby, right?
I did.
So how many?
No. Well, I did. The last one I did was for Dragonfly. I did do one for Vegas Baby. I'll take that back. But I actually ended up canceling that.
Okay, wait. So where you at in this point of Vegas Baby? What is it? Issue or a different story? What is it?
Issue 5.
Issue 5.
Yeah. So like the first story arc is finished and done. Issue 5 starts the next story arc, where I have Vegas actually runs into a guest character in the book called Willpower, which is Vince White's character.
Okay.
And I also introduced Vegas' wife for the first time.
Now, for me, know who Vince is Willpower in your book because of his power and the super team and all that stuff?
He's in the book for a particular reason. Basically, there is a metal that exists in Willpower's universe, in his dimension. And it's the only place that you can find this metal. It's a really rare metal called Weaver metal. Vegas was in the Powers That Be crossover. So he was there in that dimension, and he wants to go back to get some of that metal, basically, because he found it.
Okay.
So he's going to go steal some stuff.
So are your books graphic novels or floppies?
I do floppies and then build up to the graphic novel. So I have floppies of issues 1 through 4 of both the Dragonfly and Vegas Baby, and then the graphic novels of both of those.
Just timeline wise, 2010 is 2025. You're on issue 5, so you had issues in between that with other projects, IPs.
Not as many as I would have liked. I really had a hard time figuring things out.
Okay.
There was no artists who quit on me.
I had that. Yeah.
You had to find new people.
Yeah.
I ran out of money. I had to like make money, save money, then pay money.
Make money. Show me how to do that.
It was rough. It was a way. I had to find a way to save. I had to. I made a lot of missteps and things that what I was trying to do to really figure out how to have a real business acumen and really get this stuff going in the way that I wanted. And now I finally have all the tools and pieces, I believe, to where I can really start to make this stuff really work in a real way. Again, now it's just about still making the money. It's still the main thing. But I would like to put out. We're in March. I would like to put out at least 3 more issues of Vegas Baby this year.
Okay.
Ideally, if I have my way, we'll see if that happens or not.
All right. During that time, was you still going to conventions?
Not as many as I wanted to, because I was moving around at that time too. Remember earlier I told you I spent a lot of time moving.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really settled in a real place to where I could really get to convention circuit like I wanted to. I lived in DC for a few years, and that was cool. And I did not prioritize the conventions as much as I should have, because now I know like that's really where you meet people. That's really where you meet the fans. That's really where you meet people that are willing to buy things from you, And you didn't, and I felt as though I had to have everything finished before I could really be there. I could have just showed up with issue 1s, and just been selling. This is my issue 1, or this is my issue 2. I wanted to have everything finished in the graphic novel. Like that's really what held me back. Is my mindset was that I needed a finished product to really move things.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I had the same mindset too. I started in 2019. And I felt like if I came there with 1 book, I just wouldn't have enough on my table. I didn't change it till 2 years ago. I went to I started going to conventions 2 years ago, like as somebody who pays.
Yeah.
And just noticed what people had. I was like, man, my stuff is better than this person. I'm more put together than this person.
Yeah.
So the following year, I started doing it, or later on that year, I started doing it, and I did pretty well. I don't know why we had that mindset. I guess.
I think it's just feeling like. If I really think about it, it's really feeling like Black people really wouldn't support you unless you have like a finished thing. Not anything factual, just a subconscious feeling that I had.
But but funny part, that's not my biggest sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's to me.
And it was just a weird mindset on my part, that kept me from being successful. And really, if I would have been going to conventions more often, I would have seen that opposite, seen stuff I needed to see to really keep moving forward with this and get inspired. Because I would have saw, like you, I have a very high quality book, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I went to this convention today, people were like, you could tell with this, like they're looking at a book that's like high quality. It's man, like, all right, we got some stuff here. Even if they're not interested, they're still like, yo, it looks good.
Yeah, I was in Carolina. It's a convention called PowerCon. I think it's actually going on right now. But I went to it last year. And I wasn't getting sales at first. I was getting sales here. And I was like, why am I not selling books? Like, last convention I went to, I sold out of books. Why am I not selling books here? And what was going on, they seen the quality of my book. And they thought I was a signed, like, major, person. So when I start saying that I'm independent, I'm local, then I was like, oh yeah, and I started making sales. So I was like, dang, because my quality book, they thought I was like work for Marvel or DC or whoever, they wasn't buying it. But when I say I was independent, this is my own book. Then they start buying it.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So I see that like even when I go, I see people who have to. This is just a name, but Godhood Comics with their
Well,
whole their whole setup and stuff. Like they look like they're in business. I feel like
yeah, I
even though
met Tom. He's cool people.
yeah, even though he makes sales and all that, and I noticed that other people who look like that same kind of setup, it intimidates people when they don't buy it because they're like, oh, like this is a big box, a big brand, or something like that. Versus,
It can if you're that personal. I think Tom does good with it because he's a good salesman. He's personable with people.
yeah.
You know. But me, I'd be out there. I ain't have nothing but like a tablecloth and my comics. So I need a backdrop or something to look something a little bit more.
I done told myself every time I go, I gotta get something new. So I'm thinking about this time either a tablecloth or another backdrop. But I don't went from just my books on the table to something that elevates them to a price sheet to a backdrop. I gotta have something different.
Yeah, no, I just be going myself, man. Like I'm gonna give you a backdrop of some point, but right now I just comments and me. The Starward hat, the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I show up. Like, hey, what's up? I'm talking with people. Like, hey, come here. I put the book in their hand, and I got my pitch down really good for all of my books. Like I got a very solid pitch that if you are in the ballpark of interest at all in the book and actually read comics, you're going to want to buy the books when you get my pitch.
Okay, that's good.
I just got to do it right every time. That's all.
Yeah, it took me a while to get my pitch until I figured out what it was selling. I just focused on that and kept modifying until now it's roll off the tongue. It just, I went to school with marketing and stuff like that, and I was in the music industry as well. So my biggest thing, you gotta meet somebody where they are. Mm-hmm. So anytime I approach anybody, whoever, just a couple minutes of talking, I find out who that person is, and I just meet them where they are. I make that sale. Despite they could be the biggest fan, they could be in there because somebody dragged them to the convention. They could be in there. First one experience stuff was too shy. I just found all those people, right. Especially the ones that they circle back a couple times.
Uh-huh.
I got to the point I'd be like, hey, come here, because they're walking around where they want to spend money, but they don't know what to spend money on. So let's go ahead and just reel them in.
Yeah, like this is where you want to spend your money right here. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You made eye contact with me 4 times. I know you want to be over
here. Yeah, you want to spend, but you're scared.
Yeah.
I also hit people with and they be like, yeah, man, let me go walk around a little bit more. I'll come back. I'm like, all right, now don't forget about me because you gonna spend money and just forget about me. Yeah. But some people, then they half forgot about me and they come back and be like, oh yeah, I said, yeah, I know. Come on, go ahead and get 4 of them.
Nice.
So who is Vegas Baby? Or what is Vegas Baby?
Vegas Baby is a child of the city. He actually manifested randomly in a alley of Las Vegas and was found by a woman who raised him. He is a super genius. Think of him kind of like he has a Riddick personality. If you see Chronicles of Riddick or whatnot.
Okay. Yes.
He has that kind of personality and demeanor, but he has a Reed Richards mentality and genius. Okay. And basically, he is an icon of high risk taking. He is a high chance taking, risk taking hero. You know what I'm saying? Like he's somebody who wants to play the odds. He wants to push the limits. He's a high stakes hero is what I would call him. Like if he's a type of hero, like if he's sitting across the street from somewhere eating and a bank across from him is getting robbed, he's not gonna go do anything about that bank getting robbed. These people just lost their money. He don't. He's not gonna activate for that. But if it's something that has a lot of high stakes to it, the planet could be destroyed. It could be a war. Hundreds of people, thousands of people's lives could be at risk. That's when he's going to activate and really try to do something.
Okay.
And sometimes he actually is going to be the one who's going to initiate the problem himself to fix, which is kind of what he did in the first graphic novel. He pretty much started a problem that he himself had to fix because he was bored.
No, okay. Where does it take place at?
It all takes place in Las Vegas.
Why did you choose that?
Because I love the motif and the mythology of Vegas. I just really had the concept of basically in his world, because you want to make, in your comic books, you want to make everything a character. So like how Gotham City has a certain feel to it in your mind when you hear that name, but Metropolis is something different, right? With Superman. So in this world of Las Vegas, you're going to have werewolves, gods, demons, vampires, extraterrestrials, everything that you could possibly think of exists in Las Vegas. And when people go there, they're going to experience all this crazy stuff, see all these wild and wonderful things. But when they leave, they're going to forget all the stuff that they saw. Because what happens in Vegas,
Stay to Vegas, yeah.
here you go. And that's basically because of that concept coming up to my head. That's just why we put them in Vegas. I really liked playing with that. Once I had that concept, it's like it just opened up so many stories that you could do. And I have so many ideas for things I want to do in this book eventually. Like I really want to be able to get to them. I can't wait.
So what made you want to do your own story versus, I guess, somebody else's?
Those early interviews I read with Robert Kirkman, Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, Mark Silvestri, like those guys just really seem to, in my mind, be rock stars who are like, writing their own books their way and not having to answer to anybody to do it. They were kind of unapologetic about the stuff they put in there. Sometimes it was kind of lewd, sometimes it was crude, sometimes it was silly and sweet, but they really got to do whatever they wanted when they wanted. And I really admired that quality. And so I just, as a kid, I just took all the ideas that I ever had for writing Black Panther or Fantastic Four, and I put it all into my comics, the things that I wanted to do. I put it all into Vegas. I put it all into Stronger. I'm going to put it into Dragonfly. I just really like the idea of being able to be the captain of my stories. No, I'm telling you.
Now, are you still doing Strongest issues?
Yes, I'm going to do Stronger issue 2. Kickstarter is going to be coming out probably next month sometime. Because I did issue 1, very mediocre launch, not a whole lot to it. But issue 2 is going to be, it's done. It's been done for years, like literally years. So I'm going ahead and do that for issue 2, and I'm going to use that to fund 3 and my other books and whatnot.
So what is Stronger?
Stronger is a world where instead of being the next stage of human evolution like mutants and Marvel, the people that are stronger are the next stage of human consciousness. So these people, their faith is what gives them power. Their spiritual constitution is what makes them strong and powerful in the world. And of course, because there's so many different faiths and religions and spiritual divinations, a holy war breaks out between them all to see which one is the stronger.
Okay. So it's like a tournament type book?
Not necessarily. More like a holy war type of book. Like it follows the main character of Keon Morning. Keon is trying to escape the country because the country is recruiting everybody who has these powers, which are called divine abilities. Excuse me. And they're making them work for the government as, soldiers. So he's trying to escape the government before he gets recruited. And we kind of follow his story as he's trying to flee. And he brings his friend with him who also has divine ability.
Okay. So it sounds like it got some anime-esque type things to it.
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so. I really like manga. I like those books. I read a lot of them when I was in my 20s. I worked in a bookstore, and I got to check them out for free.
Mm-hmm.
I read all the volumes of Attack on Titan that were out at the time, of Bleach, Inuyasha. Like I just read a lot of manga, and I really like the storytelling. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be. I definitely incorporate a lot of that stuff in there.
All right. And your last book, Dragonfly, that you said, right?
Yes, that book is about an interstellar super spy.
Okay.
Basically, he has the same origin as Superman. He crash landed on Earth as a baby. All his parents were killed in the crash. But the U.S. government raised him up to be a spy against all the other alien nations that are out there, on other alien races. So he pretty much works for the Earth to help protect against other alien threats.
Okay. That's dope. That's different.
Yeah.
You got 3 different genres of your books. And Vegas.
think of them all as kind of more sci-fi slash superhero. I think they all kind of mix in. It's just that their tones are very different.
Okay.
You know.
All right. And Vegas Baby is your flagship.
Yeah, it is. I'm hoping to add another flagship soon, which is going to be my man and I, Vince White, working on some stuff. And I don't really want to. Well, I mean, I can say because Will's going to be in issue 5 of Vegas Baby, so I'm hoping to get Will Power on to Starward. And my idea is Will Power is such a great book, like. The way Vince crafted those first issues, he has 5 issues out already, done. And I want to be able to bring that book in as like a flagship title because it works for all ages. Everybody can read. I can sell that book to kids, you know what I'm saying, and to adults alike. I can't sell Vegas Baby to kids.
Okay.
He's more mature. You know, he's digging, he's going in that book. So, but Willpower is a book that in Vegas, those are gonna be like I want those guys to be like my Superman and Batman of my Star Wars, universe.
Okay. Cool. So how long you had Starward?
Maybe like 4 years, not even that long.
Pandemic.
Yeah, because thing with Kid, like when I worked with Kid, like remember I told you I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That kind of we got some buzz and we did really well with it, but we all ended up going in our different directions. And after that, it was like, what do I do? Do I just like let my stuff down? Like if I want to put it out, I have to do some kind of brand or something. And I came up with this Starward.
Cool. I think that's all I got for that segment. I'm going to my last segment. It's called Digging the Crates. It's another dopamine term. In music, you digging crates. Get the old, Angie Stone and songs like that, vinyls, and also comic books. You go back to the same box, get the same comic books out. The old, Scarlet Spider and stuff like that. And 2 things I want to touch on. So you start reading comics around the time when Image Comics was coming out. Another comic book, and you talk about Black Panther really resonate with you and stuff like that. But a comic book company came out right at the same time you said nothing about was Milestone. So why didn't Milestone resonate with you?
Completely missed them. I did not see or hear anything about Milestone. I don't know if it was because I was in West Virginia. I don't know what it was, but I had no idea those guys existed until I saw the Status Shark cartoon.
See, I say the same thing. And okay, I had Larry Stroman and Todd on my show. Tribe Comics. You heard them, right?
Yeah, Larry Stroman. Yeah, I know Larry.
Tribe Comics.
Yeah, because he worked with Roosevelt.
Okay. So, with Tribe, I didn't know nothing about the Tribe Comics, being on Image, none of that. So, when I interviewed him, that's why I found out about him, about being a black company, black book, and so many books and stuff like that. And I was like, it's crazy y'all was that big on Image, but only black superhero I know really on Image was Spawn. I didn't even know nothing about your superhero team. So the same thing about Milestone, all that's going on, like nobody presented me a Milestone book. I don't remember seeing I had the Jet, the Source, the Ebony magazines. I don't remember seeing no ads for them in there. I don't see no cartoon commercial advertising, no nothing for me. Even like I say my origin story, how I got comics. My sister's friend worked at a comic book shop, and she the one who gave me comics. And her being black, seeing the other black stuff on there, I thought she would give me those books, but nothing. So I think it was just bad marketing. Even I can look at how they doing it nowadays, and I can see like the flaws.
Well, I think that looking back at it from a historical standpoint, I think that they really had some really powerful characters and some really powerful dynamics. And I don't think that DC really wanted them to be that successful. like they gave them money to keep the lights on and to publish the books, but they weren't trying to make them like more popular than Superman and Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't want them to compete with their other characters.
Um,
That's my thought.
I give you that because DC had the other brand too, Vertigo, and I think they did them the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I always wondered like what it would have been like if Dwayne McDuffie, Dennis Cowan, if the creators of Milestone had went to Image instead of DC. Because at Image, they would have owned the rights to those characters instead of DC owning them, right? And they could have, I think they would have made or sold just as much, made more money, and been able to produce, the books better. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I think you're right though because you got to think, damn near every flagship on Image got a TV show.
Yeah, they all got paid because they were so hot at the time. Like the creators were bringing their books that were making millions of dollars. Like the guy who did Del Keown, who did Pitt, made a lot of money from that. Guy who did Battle Chasers, made a lot of money from that. He only did like 4 issues.
Yeah,
it stopped. So yeah, I just thought that, and I think that's really sad to me. Really, is that, and looking back on them, I went back and read them. Those were some really quality stories.
Yeah,
really quality art. I just never was aware of them until I was older. Like at the time they were out, I had no idea at all.
Even when the show came out, like they didn't transition no other character into the show. It was just Static, and I think they added one more character from Milestone in that show, and that was it.
No, they were more trying to put Static into the DC universe than they were trying to bring the. Like eventually, I think once Dwayne McDuffie started working on Justice League, he put Icon and stuff in there, and Rocket. But they just
if it did, I don't remember them. It had the only time I remember Icon and Rocket appearing at all was the Young Justice show recently.
Yes, they were there in that, but they did show up in the Justice League book very briefly.
That book or show?
In the show.
Oh, okay.
And well, actually. And it may have actually been in Static because Static did show up. He had crossovers in his cartoon with the Justice League.
Oh, okay.
In like the later seasons or whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. I really wish they had just done more with that. Or in their time had been better. Like I remember after Black Panther 1 came out, they were supposed to be relaunching Milestone at that time, but it took them like 3 years after the movie came out. They missed all the hype. For when it was all black. They should have been like, yo, we here, boom, black, bam. But they didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Black Comics Lord just interviewed them recently, and they talked about they gonna shift the gears on it, but
they need younger people in there. They need people like Greg Burnham or like they need.
They need people, right? They're on there. they won the contest. They part of the.
They ain't doing the books though.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like
they ain't letting them write the books. They did the contest. They got a little burn, but they're not.
Yeah. They I call it. They did it for some dap, and that was it. Like, good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go put you on an HBO TV show and keep it moving.
Yeah, like where are the books that these guys should be writing? What is up with that?
I believe I talked to Greg. I ain't talked to him on a show yet. I haven't interviewed. I talked to him at a convention or Facebook. I can't remember.
I talked to him today.
I think they got stories. They just not released, as I was told. I think.
I didn't ask him about the Milestone thing. I asked him about some other stuff, because I try not to be all up in his business.
Mm-hmm. But I know he is with DC though. He just has a couple of DC stuff. Him and Marcus.
Yeah, he told me he has some stuff coming out soon to look out for. So I'm looking forward to see whatever it is when he announces it.
Yeah.
Like he's good to do.
Yeah. And my second thing to touch on, you say you wanted your own stuff, but if you had an opportunity to write somebody else's work besides Willpower, what would you write?
Spawn.
Why Spawn?
Spawn, I felt like what McFarlane has done with that book is something that's going to keep going for a while, and it's a very much a staple within its community. Has a community for it, and I would love to have like a story arc or like an era of Spawn that's like something that I wrote. Like I would love to be able to do that if he would let me.
Okay.
You know, I would make it a little bit more superhero-y. You know, a little like it's still dark, but a little bit more superhero edge to it. Um, but yeah, I would love it. I would love to do it.
Did you read Spawn growing up?
I got Spawn later because again, in '96 I was 13. Spawn started in '92, and I didn't have any money, so I wasn't able to get them. And then when I did start buying comics, I just stayed with the stuff that I was like exploring the Marvel universe because like I didn't know a lot of that stuff. I just knew what was on the cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting deep into like the X-Men, Avengers, Captain America, Fantastic Four, Superman. I was getting deep into those characters, so I didn't really go back into Spawn until until they started coming out with these like omnibuses. I don't know if you remember when he started doing that, when he started doing like big volumes that were like 12 issues in one, right? And he was releasing them like one at a time. And I started reading those and going back and reading the old issues of Spawn.
Okay.
Really good stuff.
Yeah, I want to ask you. I didn't read Spawn. I just know the Spawn. Like I said, I knew the movie, but the funny part about it, I believe when I started looking at Spawn, he was a white guy.
Yeah, he did have an era. That was maybe that was like 10, 15 years ago now.
So yeah, it's right to say it's a good time frame because I started like getting back into comics around like New 52, Civil War era. So that's about right.
Yeah, and Al Simmons had healed himself and took himself off the board for a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the white guy. It was like Jack Dempsey or something. It was something. This white guy, and he was Spawn for like 5 years.
Yeah, good run. See, I knew I wasn't tripping. I was like, man, like.
Yeah, he was, but he looked really cool though. Like the way he didn't have a traditional Spawn suit, he was different. Like it was actually pretty cool. And then they eventually brought
his suit was the one on Soul Calibur, right?
I can't see it in my head. Like, I mean, the first Soul Calibur when Spawn had the axe.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Al Simmons. They just couldn't do the cape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they didn't have the technology to do the cape and make it look good.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, no, just fuck it. Just don't do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all I got for the show. Where can people follow you or get the books? Purchase the books?
Yeah, I got a website coming. It's not up yet though, but you can find me on Instagram right now at Starward Comics. So the Starward, you'll see this logo, and in my links you can buy all my comics there. Anything that you want that I have, either print or digital.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming on, man. It was great.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I love talking reminiscing about the old days.
yeah, it's great, man. Don't say we just chill on the green box, man.
That's what's up.
All right, man.
All right.